Wait for FPL Gameweek 28 is almost over and it's time to lock in a strategy to navigate Blank Gameweek 29 as well. Help me get this video to 1,000 likes and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it. Starting off with how my Game Week 27 went then, and it was a red arrow in the end, 55 points. I've dropped down to 55k now in overall rank. So it's been a frustrating couple of weeks really. Some good positives from the defence, including returns from Trent and Gabriel, but Anthony Robinson was benched and it's now a concern that maybe he could have lost his place. Into the attack, Cliver delivered. Probably the first time I've got a decent return from him since bringing him in. I also had Morgan Rogers with a 7-pointer, which was pleasing. Jacob Murphy came off my bench for Alexander Isak, who missed out. Captain Salah didn't really deliver what I was hoping for. I was hoping for another double-digit haul, but I guess going home over Palmer worked out. And another return from Watkins as well. So all in all, it was an okay week. Could have been better, could have been worse. I rolled the transfer to give me flexibility going into the next game week. Now, before we get into my transfer plans then, it's worth noting I'm recording this video on Tuesday morning. The FA Cup 5th round has concluded, but we've also got a busy midweek of European action. We've got Aston Villa, Arsenal and Liverpool in Champions League first leg ties for the round of 16. Likewise for Manchester United and Spurs on Thursday in the Europa League, and Chelsea in the Europa Conference League as well. So a lot could change. So unless you've got exact funds and have to make transfers now, I would absolutely look at waiting and holding on to those transfers. Going into Game Week 28, I rolled last week, so I've got 2 free transfers, 1.5 million in the bank. I am a little bit torn on whether I need to free hit or not in 29. As things stand, I have 3 Aston Villa players who blank. I've got 2 Newcastle players who blank. I've also got 2 Liverpool players who blank. So that's 7 players out of action. So technically 8 players in action, but Vandenberg is injured. Robinson could have lost his place. So I'm looking like I could be thin on the ground going into Blank Game Week 29. So I haven't ruled out the free hit. Now, it's a tricky one with the free hit because ideally if I was free hitting in 29, I would have triple Liverpool this week. I don't really want to free hit, but I feel like if one more thing was to happen to my squad between now and Game Week 29, I'd probably be forced to hit the button. And remember, all those teams that play in Europe this midweek have the second leg next midweek. I feel like I need to roll the free transfers to remain flexible with my strategy. However, if a player was to get injured or suspended, then I would really find myself in a difficult position to get anywhere close to 11 players out in Blank Game Week 29, and if that was the case, then I probably would look to play the free hit. Now, you would be going into that blind because we need the results of the FA Cup quarterfinals that come before Game Week 30 to really know what the rest of the season looks like in terms of blank and double game weeks. But what we have learnt from the previous FA Cup weekend, if we look at the latest graphic from Ben Crellin, is that Game Week 34 isn't going to be as chaotic as maybe it could have been when you look at the teams involved there. And also double Game Week 33 perhaps couldn't be as big as maybe we had expected in the past. So I think with all of that in mind, I could perhaps get away with free hit in 29. But of course, I'm not going to know until after the event whether that was the play or not. But it is in the back of my mind. Free hit 29 could be the play, but I just don't know at the moment. So I'm going to roll the transfers, hope that everyone is safe and fit to hopefully get close to 11 out in 29. But if I was to drop another player for injury or suspension, we've seen a lot of that in the last few weeks, then it could be time to press the button. Team selection time then, and some close calls to make. Obviously Pickford's going to start between the sticks. Vandenberg is injured. Robinson, I'm not sure if he'll start away at Brighton. So with that close call, I'm probably going to give Konza the nod away at Brentford ahead of Robinson. I'm obviously going to play Trent at home to Southampton, and I'm happy to play Gabriel away at Manchester United, given their current form. We're expecting Alexander Isak to be okay, and should that be the case, I'll probably stick in a 3-4-3 formation this week, and I'm looking at playing Murphy and Cliver over Rodgers just because I've got 3 Aston Villa players. I think it makes it easier to potentially bench Rodgers this week. It is tight in terms of who should get the nod between Cliver, Murphy and Rodgers, but that's where I'm at with that. But obviously if Isak was a doubt and was to miss out, then I could of course play Rodgers and make it a 3-5-2. Palmer's got Leicester at home. He's not been in form lately, but I really need him to turn that form around going into this game week because he has been quite disappointing. Salah's got the fixture of the weekend at home to Southampton. What can he do in that game? Let's see. And then, yes, it's going to be forward line of Isak away at West Ham, Chris Wood at home to Man City, which looks like a tough fixture on paper, but probably isn't given Chris Wood's form in recent games. I'm quite confident that he could do well in that one. And Watkins away at Brentford. I feel like Aston Villa are a team that I'm happy to be invested in at the moment. Well, I'm tripled up, but you know, Watkins could be someone who does make way going into game week 29 if I decide not to use the free hit. Now we are facing one of the easiest captaincy decisions of the season. We do have Chelsea with a home game against Leicester, which is worth looking at, and Palace home to Ipswich, but Salah at home to Southampton, you cannot look past that. The best player in the league this season, about to break the record for the highest scoring FPL season, and there's still another 10 game weeks to go after this game. So of course I am going to be captaining Mo Salah this week. I'll probably put the vice captaincy on Cole Palmer, but I'm not expecting that to matter too much. If you've enjoyed this one, hit that like button. We're going for 1,000 likes, and subscribe to the channel. Really close to hitting 38,000 subscribers, which will be a massive milestone for the channel. And get your comments in with any dilemmas you've got ahead of the Game Week 28 deadline. Thank you for watching.